Hello everyone, I'm Synchro, and in this series of tutorials, I'll be teaching you Python 3. Well, why Python 3? Because that's the language I know the most. And also because it's really useful and quite important, and it's also really big in, well, current days. It has gotten pretty big during the last 5 years, I think. What we're gonna do in this video is a quick introduction of what this language is, what's it used for, and also how to set up an environment where we can program with this language, of course. So, what is Python? Well, Python is a really dynamic and powerful programming language. Kinda slow, just a bit. Is unnoticeable unless you're doing really precise stuff. Um, but it's really useful, and if you're like doing things that are gonna be used a lot or repeated a lot, it's a very useful scripting language. But it is a programming language. I don't know, definitions are weird. Now, what you're gonna do first is download the language, of course, and we're gonna get the latest version, which is gonna be 7.4. You can either download it here or get a custom download, which is just like 64-bit, 32-bit, or whatever you have. And if you're using another OS, you can just click one of these, or again, you can go into the version and download it. I'm gonna click this button right here, and it's gonna give you the. Actually, I'm not gonna download this one, but I suggest you download this one. But I'm gonna get the 64-bit version, and then we're gonna be using Visual Studio Code for our development environment, so download that also. Though you can use any IDE you want. But if you're like just learning, I suggest using Visual Studio Code because it's really easy to use. But if you want, you can just use anything like I said. So there we go. We got VS Code and Python. So I'm gonna install Python first. Then you add Python to path. This is very important. Please do it. It's really important that you do it, or you're gonna get some errors or some weird stuff you don't want to solve. You know what I mean? So just do it. And then we're gonna install Visual Studio. Agreement, yes, yes. And well, you can do whatever you want here. Again, I suggest adding this to path. And then next and install. There you have it. We have our IDE now and our Python interpreter. Now, what is Python? Well, from personal experience, I think Python is a majestic language. And you can do so many things with it. Unless you're like trying to get into low level stuff, Python is a really good language to do this stuff in. Especially if you're working with data or anything of the style. Really useful. It's used a lot for that too, I mean. And well, what it should tell you when you first come into Visual Studio, it should give you like a menu or something of the sort. You just click on File and New File. Don't worry about this. And now, here in this little window we have here, you want to go into Terminal, and then go here and select Bash, because that's what we're gonna use. If that option doesn't appear to you, you guys tell me. I'll try to make a tutorial on how to solve it. But for now, I mean, preferably you would use Bash. You can use the default one, but for this tutorial I'm gonna be using Bash. Alright, so we have our file here. And now we have Python. Cool, so that means we can save this file as a Python file. So we're gonna save as, and I'm gonna put it in desktop. I'm gonna save it as hello, and it's gonna be a pie. And then you can search here the Python type file if I find it, and there you have it, Python. You can just put hello and save it, and it's gonna tell you this because you don't have any plugins installed. So what you want to do is just install it, and you also want to select the Python interpreter. This is really important. So it's gonna pop this up, and you just do Python, and then there you have it. It should be good now. I think the shortcut for this was, yeah, Control Shift P, and then it just tells you Python select interpreter. Control Shift P, and then you can do all kinds of cool stuff there. Now, if you want, here in this little button here, you can get a lot of plugins. There you have this plugin, Python plugin, and you can just search for Python plugins you would like. This is the original one from Microsoft. There's an extension, and you can just do whatever you want here. Now, just go to the files here. And what we're gonna do today is create our first program, which is gonna be a hello world. A simple yet very widely used by teachers to give you a little, like a little bit of what each programming language can do. I mean, it's not really that big of a deal. It's just like printing text into the console, which is this, or the terminal. So to print something to the screen or display it, just type print, and I'm gonna zoom in a bit so you can read it better. Then put some quotes there and put hello world. But you can put anything you want here and it's gonna print it. As long as it's ASCII. And then we just run it. And it prints hello world. And that's it for today. That's all I'm gonna teach you for this video. But we're gonna see a lot more stuff in the next one. Or like in the first season of this series. It's just gonna be a lot of information going through your head, and it's gonna be great. So I'll see you guys next time.